Hey, hello, and welcome to the show. It's me, JP, and it's time for JP's product pick of the week. You have arrived just on time, as usual. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I know we have some people over in our Discord as well as YouTube chat. Hello, everyone, and thank you for stopping by. I'm not quite sure what's going on with some of the other streaming. It doesn't look like, I'm not so sure if it's gone to Twitch or not. It seems like our restream just never started, and I don't know why. I'm going to leave it be. But it does appear we are streaming here on YouTube, so that's great. Stop on by if you're wondering where. And speaking of which, if you're wondering where you can watch the show, not only is it on YouTube, but it's also right inside of the product page. So if you head on over to that right there, that QR code or this URL, you will head into the product. Now, this is sort of an unusual one because there are multiple product pages where you can get the discount and I think watch the video this week, which is a bit of an unusual circumstance, but it's because this is a multi-flavor, multi-color sort of thing. Before I say any more, though, what I'm going to do is have Lady Ada tell us all about this week's product pick. So please take it away, Lady Ada.
Next up, and this is actually also, the star of the show, we've revised our 7-segment backpacks. They're the same size, the same pinouts, the same everything, except I kind of redid the back. I improved the design a little bit, and I made them STEMMA QT compatible. So if you want, you can use the old ones, that's fine, and you want to use the new one. On the back are 2 STEMMA QT connectors, and you can chain them.
Do you want me to show the product, yeah?
Yeah, and I mean, let's go to the overhead and I'll show it because it's a little more clear that way.
Yeah, I want to show these photos real quick.
That's fine. Well, this is the board, and then it's stacked on with red, yellow, green, blue. So this is it with the matrix soldered on. Usually comes bare, and you solder on whatever color you like. There you go. And you get the clock display with decimals and colon. It's still got the HT16K33, which is a really great low-cost chip. I actually brought in the pads a little bit to make it easier to solder. There's a power LED, which you can cut the trace if you don't want it. And then there's 2 vertical STEMMA QT connectors. And so here we've got a demo of a QT Py board with the STEMMA QT cable plugged into the back, and it's just like running the demo. And there's you just plug and play it. So I do eventually want to get these pre-soldered, like with the light box in them. For now, they're still a kit, but I'm getting closer now that at least this has a little bit more space. It's easier to solder. And you can plug and play up to 8 of them on one I2C bus because the address can be selected on the back. There's 3 jumpers to select up to 8 different addresses. So the backpack, and loves one of our early products. People really like this, and it makes it really easy to add 7-segment displays. And now you can plug and play them with STEMMA QT.
Yeah, that's it right there. Let me get mine out of this little, ooh, look at that. Right there. Pull this one out, and I will tell you that this right here, this is our product pick of the week. It is the 0.5-inch 7-segment STEMMA QT backpack for an LED display. This has 4 digits, and they're 7-segment digits that also happen to have the little decimal points for each digit, as well as the little colon separator. And this comes as a kit, so that's the board you get right there. It has that HT16K33 multiplexer there that deals with all of the pins of all these many LEDs that are built into there. And then you get to talk to it right over STEMMA QT. So it's an I2C, and we still have the sort of normal I2C breakout pins there if you want to put this on a breadboard or connect it some other way. But now we've got these great little STEMMA QT connectors on here. So let's head over to the product page for a second. That is it right there. And I mentioned that this is an unusual one in that we have this discount and this video in a bunch of different pages. So if you go to one of them, such as this product 880, this is for the green one, but that actually is a sort of a kit because it comes with both pieces. You get the LED and the driver board. So if you head over to, let's go ahead and refresh this. This should be half price now. So that's the green one. You can head over to red, yellow, I think that's yellow, yeah, blue, and white, and they're all half off. They're slightly different prices for these, so you'll see some different prices for them, but it's now half off of whatever that price was. Looks like some of these are selling out, but you can pick them up in whichever color you find there. Let's see, is the green available? Oh my gosh, these are going quick, aren't they? Oh, is that not going to let me refresh? Let's see. Let me do a forced refresh. All right, it looks like, have these sold out already? I think we had 70 of them, so you may have bought them up quick. If you get one, by the way, and want a different color, this is not soldered together. This is a kit, like we said, so you can go and pick up just the bare 7 segment in different colors and choose which ones you're going to use. You'll have to solder one of them on unless you come up with some clever socket sort of situation. The product page, if you check it out here, has a link to the Learn Guide, and that'll show you how you can use this and other matrix displays, but this one in particular, 7-segment backpack, in Arduino as well as CircuitPython. And you'll see you can do the I2C wiring on the top there or plugged in over Stemma QT, which is really convenient if you want to use this with something like a QT Py, which has that little Stemma QT breakout on it. And then if you look at the coding for this, one of the things I really like about these displays is it's quite easy to write code for it. With the drivers, or rather with the library, you can do things like just scroll a whole word or a sentence or a series of letters. You can target individual characters. You can target individual segments. And so let me show you a little demo here that I have going. Bring in my board there, switch to that display. It's right here. And get that out of the way. So here you can see I have one. This is the red, and then I've put a little bit of a diffusing film, a filter or a gel over it, which just makes it look really nice. Then you don't get sort of that gray and white, and it's really clear which ones are being lit, which is what you see in things like alarm clocks and other products. So here, this is actually scrolling the IP address that this little Stemma, or rather this little QT Py with its little antenna there, are picking up on my router. And if I can get that glare and thumbprint off of my plastic there, that looks better. So watch this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reset. I'm going to go through a little demo mode here. So I'm resetting the board. And when it restarts, it's going to go through sort of a little attract loop. So I flash all the lights on, off, run a little animation a few times, say IP address, and then I'll blink a little bit while I'm waiting for that to come up. And this is actually a routine. This blink routine is built right into the library as well. So now once it grabs that address, it kind of scoots that other characters off there and just starts running my address on here. So if you take a look at the code for this, let's switch over here to coding view. What's going on? I'm importing some Wi-Fi stuff so that's what I display, but then the key thing is from Adafruit HT16K33.segments, import seg 7x4. So this is 7-segment displays, 4 of them for the 4 digits. And we have a few different versions of those you can bring in depending on what type of matrix you have. And then I'm bringing this in over I2C with the address 70, but you can change this little jumper. If you look here on the bottom, we've got some little jumpers there that you can solder, and then that'll allow you to get up to 8 of these on one I2C bus. So that's 32 characters that you could have. You don't have to put them all on end. You could stack them. You can do your time machine for your DeLorean display like that. I think there's a great guide that Phil Burgess did a few years ago, so you could look at that as a sort of possible reworking. Then I'm setting the display brightness kind of dim here. This thing goes pretty darn bright. I fill the display, so display.fill, that just lights every LED. I wait a second and then I turn them all off with fill at 0. This is my little animation thing. So if we rerun this, you'll see I've got some individual segments that I'm looping through. Some I couldn't loop as neatly as others because they have different names. Oh, that goes by so fast that it's a little stuttery, I think. Let me try that again. It might just be my view of my... Is it smooth or is it too fast? Oh yeah, it's smooth. Okay, it looks good. I get fooled by my broadcast software. So then I'm going in and setting the word IP, and that one I'm using some raw digits with this little bit mask that just says G is the dot, H is the, I think, the middle line, G and going, or HG going backwards through to A. You can light up any of those segments. Address, I could almost type that, but we don't have an R in our library, so I used A, D, D, and then a little lowercase r. I just set 2 segments. Then I blink, set a blink rate of 3, which I think is the fastest blink rate. Turn the colon on, so that's its own little thing. And I'm printing these dashes, so that's when you see it get to that, after it says IP address, it will then sort of blink this little set of characters here. Watch that. IP address, and then blink, blink. And since I set that in blink mode, I don't have to deal with any timing stuff, so my code is free to go forward and try to connect to Wi-Fi, which is what happens next. It grabs my Wi-Fi SSID and password, sets the connection here, prints out what it's doing to the serial port down here at the bottom, and reset that. See if I can connect to it. You should see some output there when it does connect. It'll say connecting to Wi-Fi, and now it's connected. Prints out the IP address there, and then it starts scrolling it. Neat thing you'll see here is for that scrolling, all I'm using is this one line, display.marquee. So that's our scroll, sort of automatic scroll. The IP address, which I set up here to be whatever the Wi-Fi radio IP address plus some blank characters so that it would kind of scoot all the way off the screen before it loops back around. I'm setting a rate for that, so 33.33 rather, and then true is that it's going to loop continuously. So you'll see I don't actually have a while true loop. This is actually where my program has ended, but that library allows that to keep scrolling over and over. So that is a look at how simple it is to code this inside of CircuitPython. And you can, like I said, sorry, I know that we sold out rather quickly on those. You can put in a little notify me and you'll find out when they're back in stock. It'll be full price at that point, but they're actually right around $9, $10 for them under the normal pricing. So you can find out when those are available. And I think that's going to do it. So let me know over in the Discord or YouTube if anyone has questions. Can it do hex? Okay, yeah, let's take a little closer look. The guide is really good on this one. So if we take a look at the Learn guide for this, you'll see here are the different ways that you can communicate with it. So you can print straight up text. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit if it'll let me. Oh, yeah, now it went to like mobile size. That should be good. So printing text, you just put it in quotes and it'll print out text. If it doesn't have a letter, like you saw, it didn't have an R, it just puts a blank in there. You can print out numbers. You can print out hex values. You can set individual characters. So here you can see, I think it's right to left 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we tell each of them what to print. And then we get down to that sort of lowest level of individual segments. And there you can see that decimal point is an H, and that's the first digit in that bit mask there. So 0B1, 00000 would just print the dot. And then it works its way through those segments. And there's a few different ways that you can tell it what raw segments you want to light up. And then there's this fill that I showed. There's manual scrolling, so you can tell it to move a certain number of spaces. Here's displaying the colon. And then lastly, I used this automatic scrolling marquee. And then rather than me hard coding it, my value there is just based on whatever IP address I picked up when my device connected there. Let's see that there. This is it without the filter, by the way. It's not bad, but boy, these look nice when you put a little gel over. This happens to be a purple gel just because I have some purple gel around here, but I think generally a sympathetic color to what you're trying to show through will work well. So I think that's going to do it. Thanks everyone for stopping by. That is the product pick of the day. It is the 4-digit 7-segment backpack with Stemma QT. Thank you everybody for stopping by for JP's product pick of the week. I'm JP and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.